In Spring Boot, when two beans implement the same interface, injection can suddenly become ambiguous. Here's our setup, a notification sender interface with two implementations, email and SMS, both marked as components. Order notification service just wants a single notification sender injected into its constructor to send order updates. Spring's ApplicationContext scans the codebase for beans at startup. It finds two components that both implement notification sender. Order notification service asks the container for exactly one notification sender. Let's actually start the application and see what Spring does when it hits this exact situation. It fails immediately with no unique bean definition exception. Spring found two candidates and refuses to guess. Spring won't silently pick one for you. An ambiguous dependency is treated as a configuration mistake, not a guess it should make. To fix this, Spring needs a way to know which implementation should win by default. That's exactly what we'll set up next. Before adding any fix, it helps to understand exactly what Spring is doing when it wires up a dependency. At startup, the application context scans the codebase for classes annotated as components. It registers email notification sender and SMS notification sender as two separate beans of type notification sender. When building order notification service, the container sees it needs one notification sender in its constructor. It looks up the registry for every bean whose type matches notification sender. Two matches come back, and by default, Spring has no rule for breaking that tie. Without extra guidance, Spring treats this tie as an error rather than silently picking one implementation for you. This is exactly what AppPrimary solves. It marks one bean as the default choice whenever there's a tie. Both beans still exist and both still match the notification sender type. Spring notices SMS notification sender has no special marking, so it's treated as a fallback. Email notification sender is marked at primary, so it wins the tie automatically. Let's apply this for real. We add AppPrimary right above email notification sender's class declaration. Now let's restart order notification service and see if the container can resolve the dependency this time. The application starts cleanly this time. No exception, no ambiguity, just a normal successful boot. And if we log the injected sender, it confirms email notification sender was the one Spring chose automatically. Spring still finds both beans, but now one of them is explicitly flagged as the preferred default. One annotation took us from a hard startup crash to a clean, predictable injection every single time. SMS notification sender hasn't gone anywhere. It's still a valid bean, just no longer the automatic default. Now suppose we add shipment notification service, and it specifically needs to send updates over SMS, not email. But AppPrimary always wins by default, so this constructor would just get email notification sender again, not what we want. That's where qualifier comes in. It lets you name the exact bean you want at a specific injection point. We annotate the constructor parameter with @qualifier, naming the exact bean, SMS notification sender. Running the app now, shipment notification service gets SMS notification sender, even though email is still marked primary. Meanwhile, order notification service, which has no qualifier, still falls back to email notification sender as before. Order notification service asks for a notification sender with no qualifier specified. Since there's no explicit request, the container falls back to the AppPrimary bean. Shipment notification service asks for a notification sender, but names one explicitly. A named qualifier always takes priority over the primary default. Qualifier always beats AppPrimary when both are present. So when should you actually reach for @primary versus @qualifier versus something like @profile? @primary sets a sensible default, @qualifier picks an exact bean by name, and profile swaps beans per environment. Be careful though. Slapping primary on things just to silence errors hides real ambiguity instead of resolving it thoughtfully. As more services depend on notification sender, that one hidden default becomes harder for teammates to notice or question. In larger code bases, prefer explicit @qualifier names everywhere. It makes each service's real dependency obvious at a glance. Use @primary for a genuine obvious default. Use @qualifier whenever the choice actually matters to the reader. Multiple beans of the same type cause no unique bean definition exception. @primary marks one bean as the default during auto-wiring. @qualifier explicitly overrides the primary default by name. Prefer explicit qualifiers in larger code bases for clarity. Try adding @primary and @qualifier to your own project and subscribe for more Spring Boot deep dives like this one.